Before the fashion weeks, the runways, and the glossy magazines, there was Africa, the birthplace of style, rhythm, and identity. Today on Just Splash, we take you on a journey through how fashion truly started in Africa, and how it survived colonization, evolved through resistance, and now inspires the world. Fashion in Africa began long before the concept of fashion existed. Early African societies used bark cloth, animal skins, feathers, beads, and shells to create garments, not just for protection, but for identity. What you wore showed your tribe, status, gender, and even your spiritual beliefs. Prominent early influencers? Well, we're talking long before the word designer existed. But still, figures like Queen Nefertiti of Egypt, whose iconic head wrap and regal linen gowns influenced centuries of Egyptian fashion. Shaka Zulu, king of the Zulu nation, whose warrior attire, shields, and headdresses shaped perceptions of African masculinity and dress. Queen Amina of Zazzau, modern-day Nigeria, a Hausa warrior queen, known not only for her leadership but for her regal and symbolic dress. As kingdoms grew, so did fashion. In Ghana, the Ashanti people crafted the legendary kente cloth. Worn only by royals at first, each kente pattern had a name, a proverb, a purpose. In Mali, the bogolanfini, or mud cloth, was more than fabric. It was worn by hunters, warriors, and new mothers to protect, bless, or heal. And let's not forget Fulani women, famous for their intricate gold earrings and braided hairstyles, styles that have now gone global. Then came the colonial era. European missionaries and powers tried to erase African culture, and clothing was a major target. They told Africans their traditional wear was uncivilized. They replaced bold fabrics with stiff suits, corsets, and gowns that didn't suit the climate or the culture. Fashion was policed. In some areas, traditional dress was banned in schools and churches. But the spirit of African fashion couldn't be crushed. People hid their heritage in accessories, in fabric linings, in hairstyles. Fashion became quiet resistance. When African countries began to gain independence in the mid-1900s, fashion came roaring back. Icons like Miriam Makeba, the South African singer who wore traditional prints and head wraps on global stages. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's first president who wore kente to UN meetings as a statement of pride. Fela Kuti, Nigeria's music legend, whose Afrobeat style mixed traditional and rebellious fashion. Imane Ayisi, a Cameroonian designer, broke into French haute couture with designs that honor African fabrics. Even today, Europe continues to influence African fashion, both creatively and commercially. During colonization, European styles were enforced, but in recent decades, there's been blending. African designers are now flipping the script, mixing European tailoring with African prints, reclaiming European silhouettes with African stories, inspiring European runways with original African craftsmanship. But there's also the issue of cultural appropriation. Western brands often use African prints without giving credit to the continent. That's why more African designers are taking charge, telling their own stories, owning their fashion houses, and exporting their culture on their own terms. From Lagos to Dakar, Nairobi to Accra, fashion is booming. Names you should know: Lisa Fulawio, Nigeria; Queen of Ankara Fusion Fashion, Thebe Magugu, South Africa; first African to win the LVMH prize Laduma Nsokolo, South Africa; founder of Max Hosa, using Josa beadwork-inspired knitwear, Sely Raby Kane, Senegal; known for Afrofuturist fashion. From ancient queens to modern creators, African fashion has always been more than fabric. It's a voice, a protest, a celebration, a future. This is just a slice of the story. For more fashion gist, culture deep dives, and African greatness, don't forget to like, comment your favorite traditional outfit, subscribe to Gist Splash, and share this with someone who needs to know where real fashion began. Because here at Gist Splash, we don't just tell stories, we bring culture to life.